Did you think before we started this that you would enjoy these as much as you have?
No.
Because I have to be honest with yourself. Like these are a good time.
That's the thing I keep coming back to is that I'm not sitting here trying to watch a cinematic masterpiece. I'm not looking for Citizen Kane or Shawshank Redemption or
You know what it is, yeah.
like Interstellar or something like that. Like I know what I'm going into and it hits it every time. I want some laughs, I want some cool action sequences, I want to like weirdly feel something sometimes, and it's just boom, boom, boom. Good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Architects of Lore, the one and only weekly podcast where two emotionally devastated cousins sit around and discuss the age-old art of storytelling. And at the end, we're going to come up with a brand spanking new idea of our own and the continuation of our Cosmic Void franchise. But I'm your host, Zach, aka Z-Town TV. That's my co-host / co-cousin, Devin, aka Devo City. Devin, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing okay. Yes, I'm doing all right. And for any new listeners, we're not always. We watched Furious 7, so it took a lot out of us.
I mean, I feel like they know.
But yeah, we come up with movie ideas. We're not.
We do.
This isn't like a damaged. This isn't therapy. I mean, but
some of it
is cathartic.
It is cathartic, 100%.
I feel better. Doing all right. I got little tan lines going. I don't know if you can notice. Went to the Renaissance Fair, cheered on some jousting, threw some knives, did some archery, got baked in the sun. It was fun.
How'd you do at the knives and archery? Would you be a warrior, Devin?
I was better at the archery because I've done that before. The knives I struggled with, but they put me right at the end, and my target was it wasn't like squared. So, but
so that's not your fault.
No. Ryan was really good at the knives. He had the target maybe like 8 out of the 10 times and got one to stick. So,
wow.
Good for him.
All right, good for him.
But archery, that's where I thrive. He had a big bruise on his arm from hitting his arm. I didn't hit my arm once. But
clearly, you're a professional.
I would be an archer, except for my whole like horrible vision thing.
Yeah. You would be alive.
You would be trying out between dailies and monthlies. Ooh, really.
Which one are you on now?
I'm doing the monthlies. I did dailies for the last week, and I gotta say, kind of like the monthlies.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Well, glad you had a nice time at the Renaissance Festival. Did you run into anybody? Did you run into any celebrities, cosplayers, Critical Role people? I think I usually see them at the Renaissance Festival.
Not that anyone I recognize. I would say that 80 to 90% of the people were in cosplay. There was like this one guy who was like Dr. Pepper Knight or Wizard or something. And he's like had Dr. Pepper robes and like a Dr. Pepper hat and a staff.
Oh, so like a new character. This isn't like he like made up.
Assuming.
Unless there is Dr. Pepper Knight, I don't know.
But it was pretty cool.
What'd you go as? Wizard?
I was thinking I would grab something there, but they're pretty expensive. I did get a cool pencil drawing of a knight, though.
Hold it up to the camera a little bit more. It's a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, by an artist, P.D. Morgan. It's a print, obviously.
Obviously.
That's pretty cool. Put that up on the wall. You know, love to collect the art. So support artists.
Support artists. Did you sell any of our prints? We got plenty of posters, as you can see behind you.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
This is my first time at a Renaissance Fair. So, and these
really?
are very.
You never went to the one up in?
No. Yeah, grew up next to one. Never went.
Me neither until recently. So
yeah.
All right. Well, did your knight win at jousting? Who were you?
Yes.
Team Black Knight, Team White Knight,
Yeah, we had a
Team
Black
Red
Knight
Knight.
with a lion on it. I got a little flag. They said all the proceeds went to the horses, so I got a flag.
Okay.
Lost the flag.
Okay.
Lost the flag.
All right. Immediately lost the flag.
No, not immediately, because I had it for 2 of the jousts, and then we didn't get into the third joust. Everyone wanted to go to the joust to the death, so we didn't get there in time. We were a little late, but we saw the first 2 jousts.
Jousting to the death is legal in California?
I'll never know. But
You'll never know, yeah.
No, like the first one you go and then the losing team calls like a rematch and they're like, well, the queen will be here at 2:00. So everyone comes back at 2:00 or something. And then they're like, and then, the winner of that is like, I will fight you to the death. And they're like, at 5:00 we fight, so.
Really just drag out the day,
Yeah. There's a lot of shows. They had like a contortionist lady and a guy with fire whips, and then like some, raunchy comedy, ye old raunchy comedy. I don't know. Beer, very expensive. And it was hot too. So.
Hot beer?
No, just like outside.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
they did have tall boys, so the time you're done with it, like the bottom of it, it's not really, unless you're jugging that thing. Once you get to the bottom, it's kind of warm. Especially if you hold it at the bottom, it's got your,
Did you have a nice time?
I had a great time. I'd go back again. I'd probably go on Amazon and get a costume, though, because it seemed like those people were having a good time.
Well, maybe next time we'll do a little Architects of Lore at the Ren Festival.
Wait.
We'll both dress up.
Wait.
What?
What month is it?
May?
Did you say you were coming out here in April?
I've said a lot of things to you.
When are you? When's your trip out here?
Probably
People want to know.
Probably October.
The people want to know.
You can't go to LA in the summertime period. That's
really
crazy.
the best time to go.
No, it isn't. It's too hot. Okay,
No,
you
it's
go
not.
in.
It's very
winter.
moderate.
No, it isn't. I've been there, and it's hot.
We don't have to stay in the valley where it's like 100 degrees. We can go to the coast where it's like 75.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Play golf in 75 degrees weather next to the Pacific Ocean.
Play Pebble Beach.
The people want the content.
People want the content. You're right. Well, you're coming home soon.
That doesn't mean that you can't make a trip.
It does seem like that.
My location does not affect your location. You understand that, right? Like
All
me
right,
coming home doesn't
I'll plan
mean
a
that
trip
you get out
around
of the vacation.
July 13th. I'll try to plan a trip around then. I'll come out there. You'll be here. And then you play Pompey member guest without me.
I know. I hate him. Serious, though. This man, we send Zach on a vacation, get him in a blimp RV, get him to Coachella.
When is Coachella? That already happened, right?
Yeah, that already. You missed that.
All right. Good. Thank God.
I think there's an Anne Hathaway movie that basically is like Coachella at 40.
Did she listen to the podcast?
I don't know.
Ooh. Anne Hathaway. I'm not saying she stole it. I'm just saying creative minds think alike. You know what I mean?
I'm honored.
You remember like when Deep Impact and Armageddon came out the same year? You're like, okay, come on. We're two, asteroid, end of humanity movies at the same time. It's like, all right, well, clearly Anne Hathaway, Architects of the Lore, right around the same level. Same level, yeah.
Same level. Yeah, it's called The Idea of You. And it's it's just basically a 40-year-old single mom begins an unexpected romance with a 24-year-old lead singer from the hottest boy band on the planet. But they meet at a Coachella festival.
Okay, all right. So little creative differences.
Yeah.
But roughly the same. Again, parallel creative mind thinking.
Not the same movie. We can still make Coachella at 40.
Yeah, of course. Ours was more of a comedy anyway. Yeah.
Rom-com is,
rom-com.
the com stands for comedy. But
does it?
Yeah.
Does it? Oh. I thought it meant accommodation. No. Romantic accommodations. So have you played any golf lately?
Yeah, I actually went to the par 3 again. Didn't have that great of a score. I think I was 10 over. Won. At least we're out here winning, baby.
I've been hearing a lot of these things of Devin winning because it kind of coincided with his buddy Scott, who used to be very good, going into some sort of slump.
Well, we went
And
to
Devin's
the simulator
rising.
on Sunday, and Scott proved to dominate once again.
All right,
He
good.
got a 70, and I got a 90. So
kind of seems like you're both high variance players. Yeah.
I came in second. Taylor got a 95. Ryan got a 103. Or 105.
You know, you talk about these people all the time. I think it's time we start sharing pictures with our audience. You're going to need to get permission. You're going to need to get release
Yeah, we just
slips.
need to have them guest on the show so they can talk about their golfing on golf.
We could. And what if we, people, listen, this is just you and me. Devin can't hear what I'm saying. What if we get them on the show and they're like, Devin's been lying to you the whole time. He's awful. He's been shooting 110, 120, 130. He's just a liar.
Honestly, I'm the only one who has people who can verify. I got pictures. I'm talking, I hear a lot of Z-Town going golfing by himself and hitting real low. And you can't verify those numbers when you're golfing.
I went golfing one time by myself, and I didn't put it in the gin app. It was mostly just practicing. I went golf. I played 18 holes on Saturday with Nate and a couple other people from Pompey Club. Shot
you
86.
played with Nate?
Yeah.
That actually brings us to a very important question in golf talk.
What question?
Let me just share my
Are you
screen.
getting side emails from Nate?
This was sent to the Architects of Lore.
Yeah, but everybody knows I don't check that. So,
all right. For this week's segment of Golf Talk, I thought I would highlight a situation.
There's GPS satellite imaging accompanying this email.
That Zach was in on Saturday, May 11th.
Please, if anybody listening to the podcast, please go to youtube.com at Architects of Lore. Watch this so you can actually see this visual. You get more out of it.
Playing in a 2v2 best ball match.
Devin, can we zoom in on this map a little bit?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, here's the map. Now here's the email. For this week's segment of Golf Talk, I thought I would highlight a situation that Zach was in on Saturday, May 11th. Playing in a 2v2 best ball, Zach finds himself approximately 230 yards away from the green and 205 from carrying the water hazard in front of the green after a good tee shot on the par 5 12th hole. So this is the tee. This is the green. I'm assuming this is where your drive went.
That's where I was. Yep.
To try and get it to the green in 2, Zach would have to hit the ball over a wooded area and a water hazard right here, straight like that, I'm assuming. The ball is on a slight downhill lie.
Slide down.
Losing the ball right means hitting it into the pond right of the green.
Yep.
Hitting the ball short or low means the ball would go either into the woods or the pond short of the green if you went for it and hit it short.
Yep.
Zach's playing partner location after his second shot is marked by the blue X. The green is marked by the G. T is marked by T. So playing partner, does that mean he's on your team?
So basically, if you go on the map there, Nate was behind me to the left, more towards the woods. He laid up, second shot. Normally, this hole is a 3-shot hole no matter what, unless you smash a really good drive and get yourself in a level position to go for it. Usually, you're laying up here. I'm in a teeter position. Do I go for it or do I not in this position? Nate and I are playing a 2v2 best ball match against another
So
team.
You're assuming that Nate can get on and at least get
from
par.
there. That's probably like a 40-yard chip shot over the water up onto the green.
But if you can get an eagle or a birdie, that'd be terrific.
Yeah, I mean, you go for it if you can. So what do you think happened, Devin?
I think you went for it.
Yep.
I would not have gone for it. I would have laid up.
Of course.
I would have laid up.
Yeah.
I think it'd be dumb because I get frustrated because I would do exactly what you did and feed this lake a little ball.
Okay. So you would lay up no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think I did?
I think you went for it and then it went right in here.
Okay. So you think I went for it and went into the pond on the left.
Yes.
Okay. Let me set the stage for you. Nate's in position. I'm playing against two other people. The two other people are right next to me. I outdrove everybody. The other person laid up on the other team too. The other guy is next to me a little bit back, but I'm shooting first. All right.
Why?
Everybody, just because I was already there first. And everybody over there is chirping me. You got to go for it. What are you doing? You got to go for it. I'm like, I don't really want to hit my 3-wood, blah, blah, blah. You got to go for it. So I take out my 3 hybrid, Devin. All right. This is a club. This is a hand-me-down club from my dad. It's got a regular shaft. Should I take this club out of the bag? Probably. All right. But I lay it down on there. 205 over the water. That's all I need, right? Okay. Everybody's just chirping. The world goes silent. And I swing back. And I blast one over the trees, over the water. And you see where that white dot is?
Mm-hmm.
I landed just short of the green. Perfect position. Safe. Over the water.
Wow. So not on the green.
Not on the green. I also bogeyed the hole because I 3-putted. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beginning to make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I missed 5, 6 to 8 foot par putts on the back 9 this weekend. And that pissed me off. You got to work on the putting, Devin. Sometimes you got to work on it. Know where it is.
Good question, though, Nate. Appreciate the question.
The visual dynamic, I love it. So Ryan, Taylor, Scott, if you're listening, I would also like this. Anytime Devin pulls off a cool shot or a really funny shot where he shanks it into the water or something, please give me the visual dynamic, and you can email me at architectsgalore@gmail.com. Well, that was Golf Talk with Architects Galore. Devin, have you seen any new movies lately?
I watched Spy again with Melissa McCarthy and Jason Statham.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get a little more Jason Statham in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And another comedic Jason Statham movie. He's very funny in that.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Badass spy, but things he says are just unrealistic. He's like, this arm came off, and I reattached it with this arm. I don't think that's possible. It happened.
All right.
I'm immune to 70 poisons because one time I was in an underground poison drinking club. Where rich people better if you live if you drink poison.
All right. I've never seen Spy, but you're kind of making me want to see it.
Yeah, it's on Max. Check it out if you'd like.
All right, I will. I, fortunately, have been too busy this past week. There's been a lot going on. Just personal life stuff, golfing, car, cat, all that stuff. So I've just been zoning out on YouTube. I've been watching Kind of Funny Games where this guy named Nick, who's a 44-year-old man, is playing Pokemon Red for the first time. It's actually way funnier than you think it should be. Because if he plays it and a Pokemon faints in battle, it's gone forever. And just the drama of watching this guy, and he's got a couple other friends playing with him, be so upset and so nervous about losing a Pokemon is actually very funny. So go check it out if you want something just to zone out on. And there you go.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite trivia section of the show, the movie game.
Movie game.
Zach, what was the audience's question from last week? And remember, the movie game works by having a clue for one movie and a clue for a second movie, and the answer is the title of those two movies mashed up together.
Mash them up. Last week's movie game question for the audience was: a white man cruises over to Japan to modernize their noble warriors by teaching them how to club the crap out of an Olympic figure skater's knees. That answer, of course, Devin, was
The Last Samurai, Tonya. I Tanya. Last Samurai, Last Samurai, Tanya.
Yep, he's
Last
got
Samurai
it, folks.
and Tanya. Last Samurai, Tanya.
Mash him up. Last Samurai, Tonya.
See? Yeah,
Tanya.
you
Is
messed
it
up,
Tonya
too.
or Tanya?
It's Tanya.
I'm here to help out with the Pan-Pam situation.
Okay, Zach, here is your question for the week. A dorky Caucasian dude dupes dudes on the basketball court and makes money by teleporting into banks and avoiding Sam Jackson. A dorky Caucasian dude dupes dudes on the basketball court and makes money by teleporting into banks and avoiding Sam Jackson. Two great movies.
White man can't jumper.
Yeah, white man can't jumper. Jumper and white man
White man can't jump and jumper. Mash them together, folks. That's how the movie game works. We got 3 more minutes of playtime. Devin, what's that from?
Daddy Daycare.
No, it's from Spider-Man. The first one with Tobey Maguire. The great match.
Okay.
God, this guy doesn't know movies, folks. This guy doesn't know movies. But maybe he'll redeem himself right now. With your movie game question, Devin. The matriarch of a super-powered family goes back to hero work, leaving dad behind to care for their Dustin Hoffman in a dress.
The Incredibles Tootsie.
Damn! I did not think he was going to get Tootsie, folks. I really didn't. Good job. Good job. This guy over here. Have you seen Tootsie, or you just like kind of knew it from it? Because I've never seen Tootsie.
I don't think I've seen it either.
All right. But you had it in your mind. Here we go. All right. Audience, here's your movie game question for the week. Remember, you're going to get a whole description. First part of the description is the first movie. The second part of the description is the second movie. Your answer is those movies mashed together. Federal investigators are informed of Kaiser Soze, a criminal mastermind who pumped a movie full of so many 80s and 90s testosterone-jacked action stars that you are pregnant after reading this clue. Jesus. Okay. Audience, again, your movie in question is federal investigators are informed of Kaiser Soze, a criminal mastermind who pumped a movie full of so many 80s and 90s testosterone-jacked action stars that you are pregnant after reading this clue. If you know the answer to that question, please leave it in the comments below. Devin, we've stalled long enough. I've been trying to elongate this section. I don't really want to go into what we have to go into. But sometimes that's life. So, Devin, what are we getting into now?
It's been a long study in the blueprint.
Oh, you went singular this week.
So, Furious 7. We got there. I mean, here's a recap of the movie real quick. Everyone's happy and fine, but Shaw's... That's a blooper. People aren't going to realize why you're doing that till the end. I told Zach he had resting bitch face when he's not talking, and now he's doing this fake smile that is super distracting. But I'm going to get through it. Deckard Shaw lives. Or no.
Owen Shaw.
Owen Shaw lives.
Deckard Shaw's the older brother.
And Deckard Shaw is going to take down the guys, the crew that hurt his little brother. It starts with Han. Boom, Han's dead. And then he goes after
not over it.
The Rock and the Torettos. at the same time. Hobbs and he like
No,
fights Hobbs.
he hits the Rock first because that's where he got the information about going to Han.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The timeline's a little confusing.
It's a little wibbly wobbly,
because I guess Bow Wow's line about Vin beating everyone in Asia doesn't really make sense if Dom just went there.
That's why I said that.
2
I'm
days.
Like, he's
Unless
gone
he
for a
beat
couple.
everyone in 2 days.
Maybe.
He's like, all right, I'm here. I could only get a flight into North,
Kyoto
maybe South
or whatever it is. Yeah.
And then he had to race his way from South Korea to China and Japan.
Tom
in
just
2 days.
Yeah. Dominic Toretto just drifted across the Sea of Japan.
I don't know. You're fast. Han said you were fast, but I didn't know that fast.
Who's that American muscle?
Okay, hold on. This is my recap.
Sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Basically, Deckard Shaw's coming after the crew. Oh yeah, and Letty had to go find herself because she still hasn't remembered everything. Dom goes to get Han's body from Japan. Brian hides Mia and the kids in the Dominican Republic, and then Mr. Nobody at Han's funeral, then Shaw shows up. They chase him. They ram their cars in together, and then Mr. Nobody and his crew saves Dom's life, apparently, and then hires him to save Ramsey, who is a hacker who created this thing called God's Eye, and a terrorist has kidnapped her, and God's Eye can take everything and listen and find people. It's like a tracking place. So if they help and save Ramsey, they'll let him use God's Eye to get it to Shaw. So they're now spies, and they go save Ramsey, and then the terrorist who wants Ramsey teams up with Shaw, and then they go after the crew, and then it's basically a fight against a helicopter and hacking, and at the end of the movie, Brian goes off to be a dad, and there's a beautiful tribute to Paul Walker. And that's Furious 7.
That's Furious 7.
In a nutshell. Right. It's so much more than that. It is heart-wrenching at the end. I'm at my kitchen table, tears welling
bawling his eyes
this
out
morning, just being like, R.I.P. And that speech about his brother. That's just Vin talking about Paul.
Yeah. All right, couple things off the bat. We're finally at the point, I believe, in the Furious movies where it's just slap a plot around these cool action sequences.
Oh, hell yeah.
Somebody's like, we got to do something in the Middle East. All right. What if somebody's keeping a cool car in their penthouse and we fly through 3 fucking buildings? Love it. All right, cool.
Cars can't fly. Cars can't fly. Cars can't fly.
Yeah.
Says cars can't fly a bunch. You drove a car through a building? Actually, it's 3 buildings.
I was talking to with Devin about this off air, and I feel like it's warranted to bring it up. I think this movie is probably the best that it could have been, just because of the extenuating circumstances. There's a couple of things that don't super make sense. Maybe they make sense in future movies.
Yeah, obviously, if the audience doesn't know, Paul Walker died during the production of this film. He had about half of his scenes done, and his 2 brothers helped fill out the rest, but they had to rewrite the ending, and the CGI is a little telling. It wasn't perfect back then.
No.
But I think, again, they did the best under the circumstances, the tragic circumstances that they had to deal with.
Yeah, I think they did the best that they could. And I think it was, especially the tribute at the end, was good for Paul Walker, the man. And I think the character, Brian, I think they made the right choice of not killing him. Because there was a point where, I knew because Devin talks about it. Brian's just being a dad. But if you didn't know and you watched this movie and you knew the actor Paul Walker died, this movie kind of sets up that he might die. Mm-hmm. They have the scene with Mia saying, if you don't hear from me in 24 hours.
They didn't say what they were gonna do. People waited 4 hours before the premiere of this movie. Like, this movie was like the fourth highest grossing of all time at the time period. But it was also the 2015, so Infinity War came out like 2 weeks later. But
Civil War.
No,
Infinity War was 2018. Civil War was 2016.
Maybe this came out. I don't know what year this came out.
Doesn't matter. But it was a high-grossing film. I thought it was as good as it could have been. I thought it introduced a new character. I'm assuming will be part of the crew in Ramsey because they needed a tech love interest as well.
What do you think of Ramsey?
I thought she didn't have a lot to shine in this film just because, we had to introduce her. We don't know a lot about her, but I thought some of her scenes were pretty cool. The scene where she's hacking in the car and then Brian's like, you got to jump. And then they just like pull up and then the cars like spin around each other in Los Angeles and then they shove her out and then he keeps going to the drone fires a missile and Brian jumps out. Like I thought that whole sequence in Los Angeles, like the ending, the third act, I thought was really cool. High action, intercut between human fighting and car fighting and drone fighting.
Yeah, I mean they took down a drone.
They took down
the Rock. How about the Rock?
The Rock coming in with an ambulance and then going, "Woman, I am the cavalry,"
flexing his way out of a cast.
Yeah, I mean we've gotten to the point where the plot is just subsect to the cool action sequences. It's like the Rock's got to have a cool moment. Brian's got to have a cool moment. Dom's got to have a cool moment. Like everybody gets a cool
Brian's
moment.
Like the fighter. They expected him to just, Brian, you're up, and he just goes up there and just takes people out. Ex-military or cop, he was the badass, bro.
I'm a little afraid of, just for the crew's sake. If we're just in lore, in world right now, the crew lost one, second best, if not right. 1B to Dom's 1A driver, and also the best fighter. Like Brian was the best fighter.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were saying Han too is a great driver. They lost.
But Han's already gone. Driver. Like we've already lost.
If Dom called him, he would have picked up.
Han's dead.
Yeah, but if he wasn't, like if he was in
Tokyo, if he wasn't, yeah, of course. But like
I don't think he was off the crew. I think he was just hanging out in Tokyo.
No, I'm just saying, in lore crew, we gotta augment our numbers right now because right now our drivers are Dom, Letty, and Roman. We need another driver. We need a fighter. Yeah. Dom's can't be the only fighter. We got Hobbs
because Luda doesn't really drive anymore. I mean, he did drive that big bulletproof thing, but he's not really a drifter anymore. He's more of driving the.
Exactly. I'm just saying, in lore, we might want to think about some tryouts. If I'm the Fast and the Furious guys.
Did you see Ludacris though? Tesh, he like.
Oh yeah, he beat up that guy. And that was pretty cool.
That guy, that was pretty. He's like, I'm not just brains.
I want to see Roman fight because I gotta feel like Roman can tussle. We saw it a little bit in Too Fast, Too Furious where he took down a couple of guys, but we haven't seen it a lot.
I love how they're like, do what Roman does best.
And Roman's like, I got it.
Grabs the microphone, starts singing happy birthday.
Excuse me, is your name Jasmine? What the? Yeah.
That's Roman for you, baby.
I thought this movie was as good as it could be, given the extenuating circumstances. I thought it was a good send-off for Brian. I'm actually very happy that they kept Brian alive, even though I already knew it because Devin spoiled it for me.
Sorry.
And I thought the scene at the end, obviously, of course, it's Saturday night. It's like 11:30 o'clock. I'm in my bed. The candle's lit. I'm watching it. That song comes on. And we see those cars part ways. I'm getting emotional, folks, just talking about it. Okay? And I got to say right now, this is real talk. This is not me being funny. That's something as a person who likes to create stuff that you're really going for. You want people to feel something. So, hey, kudos to the Fast and the Furious franchise for taking this wild and crazy world about cars and criminals and making you feel things.
Yeah, that's what most of the reviews are like. These movies are crazy, but they make you feel something. Like, I don't get it, but it's beautiful.
I don't know why, but it works. Yeah.
just even Letty drifting over the edge so that Brian can catch onto it after the bus is going off the edge.
Yeah.
And then when he kills that guy, he's like, too slow. As a
Too slow.
callback to when that guy
Gotta add a
trapped him in the
callback.
cage. It's such a, the homage to Jurassic Park 2 or whatever that is. Lost World, Jurassic Park.
The Lost World? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
With the bus leaning off the edge. I mean, yeah, you think go that way, but he's got a cage, so now he's got to go the opposite way. Yeah, he's the most, he's very brave guy.
Brian's a brave guy, and he has earned his retirement.
Like, don't miss, and he goes to throw his car basically at a helicopter. He's like, don't miss, and the helicopter's just like, whoop, and he misses.
But he didn't miss.
No, because somehow he got some grenades on the end of it, and then Hobbs shot the grenades and blew up the helicopter. But that was wild ending.
See, yeah, but when I saw that, I thought he was saying, because Dom knows. Somehow Dom knew that Hobbs was down there. And so the phrase at the beginning was Hobbs saying, don't miss to me, is that he's telling Hobbs, don't miss. Like, he's giving him an opportunity. Then Hobbs pulls out the revolver, sees the grenades, pop, 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 boom.
That makes more sense. That would be a Dom move. Mm-hmm. He's not hyping himself up. He's hyping Hobbs up. Like, look at what I'm about to do. I'm going to throw these grenades on this.
Don't miss. We'll see. I don't know. Like, honestly, folks, I don't know.
For sure, man.
I don't know where this series is going to go. I'm excited. We'll see in Fast 8, but right now,
what do you think of the villains? Because before we get to it, I really think Deckard Shaw was cool. I mean, they filled out some of them just as a fighter, but I feel like he could have had a conversation like, "Hey, your brother was going to kill my wife."
Oh yeah,
not cool. And also, he's not dead. So, what are you doing right now?
Well, I don't know if the crew knows that Owen Shaw isn't dead. They might not. Who knows? And also, Deckard Shaw had 17 lines in this film. I think the most lines are when he friggin' talks to Dom and Hobbs the first time. I don't think he says a single word in the entire third act.
And then the terrorist guy isn't really fleshed out too much either.
That's why I'm saying the film focuses on the main characters and the antagonist. Deckard Shaw is an antagonist, really cool. You don't need a lot of backstory. You just need to know brother, mysterious super agent, can't be killed, coming after you. Great. And then the terrorists are just this guy needs a couple extra people because these guys have this whole CIA dark web army now. So you got to have something to mash them up.
Yeah, enemy versus enemy. We got to have an army versus an army now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. The terrorists I didn't really care about. And just okay, sure, they want this thing. All right, whatever. They're there for the plot. Got it. They're there so we can have our superhero.
Generic terrorists.
Correct. They didn't mention any nation, any group, where they're from. Just generic terrorists. Which is fine. So the real question, though, we do have to answer now, Devin.
What do you think about Mr. Nobody? He's a great character. Kurt Russell's really fun in the
That wasn't the question, but he's fine. Okay. He obviously, out of everyone that's introduced in this film, he had the most personality. So he popped off the screen the most. Of course.
Oh, yeah. He's on screen and he's shining. He's having a fantastic time with that role.
The whole Belgian ale thing, very funny.
I gotta tell you something. You're not gonna like it. You really gotta try that Belgian.
That came out of nowhere. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
He's talking about Delirium, which is made by the monks. I like it. It's good.
I think to be fair, I think this movie introduced 3 new pretty cool characters in Ramsey, Mr. Nobody, and Deckard Shaw. So, and I assume that all 3 will be back in some capacity. I know one because there's a Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. And I've seen the trailer for that, so I know Deckard's back at least.
Lucas Black played his character in Sean Blackwood or whatever. Tokyo Drift guy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for that one little scene, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but he's still in it. Like
He's
that's
still in it.
in the movie.
He looks much older.
Han and Giselle are both credited in this movie because they used their pictures for the funeral scene, so they have to be credited as in this movie.
I think I
So
read something though
technically,
that also that there
Han
was a scene that they
is credited.
deleted where Giselle gets Letty out of the car in Fast 4, and they cut that from this film. So like Gal Gadot did actually film like additional work for this film, and they just didn't put it in the movie. You know, a little IMDb trivia fact that you're looking at. You know
I mean, don't read any more. You don't want to spoil because now
I
you're
only looked
definitely
at the
getting-
original movie.
I know, but I'm
movie.
saying now you're definitely getting into the territory of you haven't seen these anymore. Because, like you said, this is kind of like your ending, and some people do see this as like their end of the series. They think, Paul Walker died. Let's leave it as this is the end of the series. So
I could see that. This could have been an
Yeah.
ending. This easily could have been an ending.
exactly.
But I guess we'll
But
find
we
out.
have
if it
a
doesn't.
question that we need
But
to
Devin
answer,
keeps skirting.
and that is,
Where does it fall on the lore list?
the lore list has many a Fast and Furious movie on it, starting with Fast 5 at 12, The Fast and the Furious, the original, at 19. We have The Fast and Furious 6 at 26.
What's
Too
this?
fast,
What's this
too
accent
furious.
you're doing?
At 36. I don't know, but I'm rolling with it. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift at 42. Fast and Furious, the fourth film, at 50. But where does Furious 7 land on the list? Zach, what are you thinking? I'm thinking up here at the top. I mean, not above Fast 5, but
I think it's
I don't
definitely
think it is.
not. It's not above Fast 5. This one's hard because emotional impact. It's above all of them.
yeah.
I mean, that it is emotional impact. It's above all. Will I go back and watch this movie again? Like, when the series is over, Zach officially becomes a fast head because I've seen all of them. I'm in. Like, what are you gonna be like, Zach? All right, you know what? I want to watch some. I want to watch one of the Fast movies. Which one am I gonna put on right now? Still Fast 5. I'm probably not
Okay.
gonna go to Fast 7 unless I'm like, you know what? I've had a bad day. I want to have a good cry. Then maybe.
Okay.
So it's definitely below Fast 5. I think it might be above the Fast and the Furious, though, It might be.
I mean, but do you have
But that's the first one.
that sandwich sucked? Oh,
I
I know.
know.
I had a bunch of them
I know.
without the first one, right? You
You're
can't
right,
have
I
tuna
know.
no crust without tuna
You
no
can't.
crust. So I think it has to be below the original, but I do think it is above 6.
I think it's definitely above 6. Okay, so we're in the area between 19 and 26. So now we've got the fast bracket. Now we have to go through if we think it's better than these other movies. So,
Okay.
do we think it's better than Always Be My Baby?
Maybe.
Okay. I think it's better.
I almost want to put it right at 20. Like right under it. That's my
you?
my first
Right
thought
under.
right there. Yeah, right under.
Okay. Let's just game this out for a second. You want to feel something. It doesn't matter, just something, any emotion. Do you want to be uplifted or do you want to cry? We just pick one. You want an extreme emotion. Which movie are you going to? You going to Always Be My Maybe? Good little uplift ending. Or you going to the Furious 7 with kind of like a bitter, sweet, happy, sad ending?
I'm going Furious 7.
All right,
It's
well
got
then there.
a lot of laughs. It's
Okay.
got a lot of laughs. You forget, like, yeah, you have a very emotional ending, but Tej and Roman are hilarious in this movie.
I agree.
They carry, like, because you have such a drama filled, like, what's happening with Brian, and then Letty and Dom's love story, like, he's giving her space. Like, why don't you tell me you're married? Because you can't tell someone they love you. Like, holy, come on, you want romantic lines? Like,
Right there.
this movie's not messing about.
It's not. But that scene where Roman's like, I can't do it. And then Dom's like, Tash is like, I got you. And he's like, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? Boom. Pulls him out. I'll tell you this, though. Yeah, so we're going with number 20 here, folks. But I'll tell you this. During that whole chase scene down the mountain, after the whole Roman situation, hilarious laughs, and he's not a part of it, I know just for like movie making sake that they're probably, Roman's going to come in at an appropriate time and save the day. I know it just objectively in my head. But I'll be damned if I wasn't the whole time going like, if Roman doesn't show up, then they did his character dirty. He better show up. And then he did. And it was us.
Of course he came in. But it was funny when his car's spinning.
Spinning around. They're like, we'll come back for you, buddy.
This is not part of the plan.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it, folks. The new number 20 on the lore list, Furious 7.
Well, now it's time to dive into the Cosmic Void franchise and building the lore in the writer's zoom.
Last week, folks, did a little bit of a detour.
Little bit detour.
Let's spin off. Because you know what? We decided, we're like, listen, you guys don't know about the Kyronian Empire enough. And you know how we knew that you didn't know about it? Because we didn't know about it. So we had to get a whole new kooky cast characters and go over Kyronian Knight. Because it's a
Cosmic Void. Kyronian Knight.
Whatever. Cosmic Void presents. No, we're not at presents.
Nope, we're not at 9.
We're not at presents. Cosmic Void, Kyronian Knight. Is there a push and pull right now of how Kyronian is spelled? There is.
I spell it the proper way. The way the English language spells it.
But we're in space,
it
Devin. We're in space. There's not an English language in space.
Wow.
But Kyronian,
that's how we interpret it.
Cosmic Void, Kyronian Knight. We introduce a whole new cast of characters. We got Spark, who's a little bit of a halfling female leader, muscly lady. We got Octavian. He's an octopus, kind of humanoid a little bit, mentally savvy, links everybody together. We got Mac. He's a seahorse human type driver for some reason. Don't know why. I think Devin just really wanted a seahorse. And then we moved on to Ned. The only note I have for him, Skinny Ned.
Skinny Ned.
He's a tech guy. He's a tech guy. And then we had Spud, big rock guy. And then we had Mackenzie, flower girl. And these are a group of orphans.
Was kidnapped. Spud, R.I.P.
Spud, R.I.P. Okay, we're not there yet. All right,
currently detained.
Mackenzie's detained. Spud was killed because this group of orphans in the Kyronian Empire, it's kind of like communism, folks, where you're assigned jobs. And these people weren't assigned the correct jobs. They failed their test. Their own families kicked them out. They all met at an orphanage. And then when their orphanage gets blown up, they went off on their own together. And then they come back because they find out that the guy who blew up their orphanage is going to be governor. And they're like, hell no. We're going to ruin this guy's life. And they do that through a series of heists and fights. And they get this guy to not be governor of the planet. They get a whole religious ceremony. Topsy-turvy, and then they fly away. They steal a ship. They fly away. They're flying away from fists who are chasing them. They go into a cosmic storm. They get away, and then we see that the fists are called off. Why are they called off, Devin?
Because a secret missile blew into Big Blimpin. Big Blimpin has to veer off into a black planet because in Cosmic 5
into the void.
The crew of Big Blimpin went down. That includes Keon as well. He's with them as well. Keon and Wormhole and Rory and Roby and Ronan and
Joyride and Venus. Thaddeus. And we got Venus and Breacher. I've got notes.
Thank gosh.
I got main crew. We got secondary part of the crew. We got
cat.
We got
right?
support.
Cat
the cat's up here. I spelled the name ESCESE. That's the cat. Big Blimpin's the shit. And then we got support crew. Couldn't remember these people's names. All right,
I thought it was Essie, like Space Cat, like C.
Yeah, but
SC.
I just didn't want to write SC. And we
We
got
got
these.
Icy as
Yeah, Icy. I spelled it with 2 C's. That's
Okay.
Ronan's sister, Queen of a Planet. Then we had another Queen character who's also a support character. Really found a lot of recycled themes when I went back. So we got a couple of Queens as support characters. We got Ladyface, right hand to the Queen on that planet. She's cool. Then we have a tribal leader. Couldn't remember the name. That was the beginning of Cosmic Heist, but they're like also cool with us. Then we have the governor of the first planet, who's also cool with us as well. Then we got a lot of other people who are cool with us because that's the comic. Obviously, all of these have comic interludes where they're adventures and stuff. But then we have antagonists. What I found out with this is that we really need a real antagonist for the Kyronian Empire because it's just a monolith right now. So we got to have real people.
Well, we got to get into it because this is Cosmic 6, yet to be named. In Cosmic 4, Ronan
Foregone
was captured after the Kyronians had attacked Globico.
Yep.
In Cosmic 5, the crew of Big Blimpin saves Ronan and Ronan and Keon. Yeah, Roman. Sorry.
Roman Pierce. Saves Roman Pierce.
Yeah. So Cosmic 6, Big Blimpin just crashed into the planet. Then we had this idea that, it's dark and there's fire and a crash scene.
We don't know who survived.
Exactly.
And then we do a spin-off movie. So everybody gets mad at us.
Let's just get into 6.
Okay, let's get into 6. Devin.
So I had an idea for 6.
I had an idea for 6.
So we're each going to have 1 minute to say our idea.
And then we're going to end the show, and then you get to vote on which... No, I'm kidding.
Zach, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
I get to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That hand motion fed into your time.
Fuck you.
This is still part of your time.
Time starts now. I really wanted to go into the reason as to why these two groups would link up. So my idea was that Red, the character from Foregone, who betrayed Ronan and apparently Globico, actually isn't a betrayer. He's actually a pretty good guy. And he's telling these people that Globico knows they stand no chance against the Kyronian Empire. And when they come through, they're going to set off a series of Devotonium nukes that will actually blow half of their galaxy away, including Icy's planet. Because that's their line. They know they can't win in an army race, so they're just going nuclear on this thing. And because of that, they're also going to set off that own Devotonium nuke that Red bought to them to take out the main planet. So our crew and the subsequent crew have to join together to stop the Kyronian invasion and stop this slaughter. What do you think?
So you're saying Globico is basically going to blow up their own territories?
Yeah. They're going to murder billions and billions of people in several planets just to get rid of this invasion force.
I like that idea. Does not interfere with my idea whatsoever.
Ooh, we could have a little augmentation idea going on here.
Keon is a king! Or a god-type character. Okay. And when the cast or the crew from Kyronian Knights see him, they bow in his presence. He has not told Ronan something, and he is the prince that has been promised. Okay. He is the one that everybody knows about. The gladiatorial planet that he was in, everyone thought he was dead or something. There has been a complete, because we're realizing that the Kyronian Empire is pretty messed up, right? Pretty messed up. We got people, we get orphans, and then those governors who destroy the orphans are getting promoted.
That's not chill.
They've been skewed. Skewed. Where is the emperor? Where is the emperor? We don't have one. That's Keon. Keon is the emperor. He's the secret emperor, and then he's the one. And once they can figure out how to get him back into position and power and take out the military fist or type stuff, because like the fist lock's too much control. There's too much power. And maybe it was like his brother or something. We have like a little Hamlet type thing. But I don't know. But or Lion
Okay.
King.
Okay.
And they have to, they get him back onto his throne. That way he can stop the invasion of and save both people.
Okay.
But at this point, they have to assume that Red is a traitor. So
At the beginning of the movie, Red is definitely a traitor to everybody.
Yeah.
We just have to make the distinction between, if we're going with my idea and your idea, then they have to get the information from Globico's plans. So clearly they need a Globico plant. So it's either Red or somebody else from Globico who gets them this information. We haven't really introduced anybody else other than the handler. And I always saw the handler as like super evil. So like, no go for that.
I think they're going to have to go against Nick. And, has anyone been injured in this? How's Venus? How's Wormhole? How's Breacher?
Okay, so all right. Let's start. We're on the planet. I think we got to kill one of them. Not right now, but at the end of the movie. One of them's got to die. And not Wormhole.
I think we could kill Wormhole right now. I think he could have been old and
no, I like Wormhole. I have him on main team. I split him up into teams, and he's on main team.
He could be injured, and they're like, and he could be like, leave me behind. And they're like, no, we're not leaving you behind. He's like, I'm old. And he's like, but, that doesn't mean you're worthless. Like,
there we go. Okay, see, I like this idea better. You wanted just to kill him, and I like him. He's on main team.
This is a combination of thoughts. I mean,
yeah.
So I'm thinking everyone is basically decently okay. I think Roby has.
What if we kill Roby?
Has an arm missing or something.
What if we kill Roby at the end of the movie? And then Ronan is rebuilding Roby at the beginning of the next movie.
Cool. I think we do have to probably kill like an actual life form.
Probably Thaddeus.
You know who I was thinking?
Joyride.
Not Thaddeus. But no.
We can't kill Ronan and we can't kill Rory.
Skinny Ted.
Yeah, okay. Of course, a couple from the Kyronian team are going to get killed, but we got to kill one of the main team.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I like Thaddeus. I do like Thaddeus. And then Ronan's like, I'll take care of Joyride. Like, don't worry. She'll be okay.
Yeah, because I think Thaddeus, when we haven't gone super in depth into characters because obviously this is a spitball 20-minute, 30-minute, sometimes 40-minute discussion for these movies. So we're not going super in depth on their characters, but I've always
hurry up
Thaddeus,
if you're trying to explain.
Relax over there. I've always seen Thaddeus as the one who escaped the augmentation and then just been living kind of for himself. And then his first introduction into caring about people was Joyride. And then through these trips with Ronan, he's come to appreciate society and humanity again, and this is the culmination of that arc.
Okay.
All right, so we're on the planet. Wormhole is very much injured. Okay?
Very injured.
They're not going to leave him.
I think Roby has
a
arm. funny arm blown off type thing.
Yeah. Wait, no, Roby can do like,
okay.
I put this arm with this arm.
Because the cat can like bend and move and stuff,
Yeah, I think we combine in this movie Roby and the Space Cat into one kind of like super team. Like they're always kind of together, instead of a cat just walking around on it. It's like kind of with Roby all the time. So why does the Kyronian team, not the people who are after him, our team, Spark and all them, go to the planet?
I think they see the ship going down in the fist, and they're like, they still have their motto of like the Empire does good, and they're there to do good.
Okay, I could see that. I definitely could see that.
They want to go, we got to see if we can help.
There's a couple of people, definitely probably like Mac or somebody who's like, what are we doing? They distracted us. We can get away. And then it's like, why did we do this whole thing with the governor if we're not going to be the change we want to see in the universe? So that's why they go to the planet. And then we could do your idea. They get there. They see the crash. How damaged is Big Blimpin? Because Big Blimpin to me is an integral part of this team, so that could be a death right there.
You see how bad the house of the Toretto's house got blown up? Big Blimpin's done.
We're starting off the movie
Big
then with a
Blimpin's
major
done.
death. Big Blimpin's gone, folks.
The place they call home, our picnic table of the franchise, is no more.
Yeah. There isn't even time to grab a couple Coronas out of the fridge. It's just gone.
They got to get out of there because now they have like a team coming.
Yeah, we got the fists coming down. They're running. You know, they take Wormhole. It was like, leave me. Like, no. Ronan throws him on his back. This is still, we're going through the same thing, showing Keon that it's good to be, you know, somebody who protects people again. Because remember, he only protected one team, one mom and son, and that's why he got sent there. Still can do the whole secret emperor. And then we got our Kyronian other team comes down. They're ready to fight. They're ready to fight. And I think there's got to be a couple of square ups.
I don't know if they're ready to fight or if they're ready. They just like go to save him because
no.
Say they were a bunch of fighters.
I'm saying our team is ready to fight the Kyronian team that comes down because they don't know who they are. Yeah.
Oh, Big Blimpin's ready to fight the Kyronian Knights.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we got to call them. We got Big Blimpin and Kyronian Knights. Got it.
Yeah.
So I think that happens. We got a scene there where they're like, kind of like, who is this? They're trying to take us. Maybe a couple things happen. And then they see Keon and our Kyronian Knights. Bow.
Boom.
Yeah. Then we're off. Then we're on the Kyronian Knights ship. We're out.
But I think there's someone like some fist coming to like blow up the rest of the Big Blimpin. So they have to get into the Kyronian Knights ship and take off.
And then we see one of the final scenes leading in the planet is Big Blimpin's final explosion. So that one last pull of the heartstring.
One last blowing up.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And we'll have like, you know, some picture or something sentimental that you see and it's blown up pieces. Really give it to the people. So Keon, you know, now they've revealed, it's like they bow, they get in, it's like everyone's confused, but they have to leave because they're in a panic. Where did they go? Maybe there is like a secret planet that Keon knows about in the Empire because he was just going to go in the wormhole back to the...
Well, what about if we just go back to where the Kyronian Knights hideout was? Because we didn't get rid of that in the last movie. We can just go back to where their place is. Like their planet. I was thinking a place
that was connected to Keon's heritage and ancestral, so that we could like kind of lore explore with like why he is the Empire. Because it doesn't have to be bloodline. It could be like when I was a child, I was, you know, there's, you know, the selection process or whatever, and they selected me to be blah blah blah, but I was hidden, you know, in order to be so.
But what if I like that idea, but what if we have that later? So the first is just the Kyronian Knights hideout. Because I think this movie is a lot of like running. Up? Yeah, like a lot of running until eventually they're ready to take action.
Everyone's houses are getting blown up.
Blown up. Yeah. Because, and this is a big thing, the Kyronian, let's call them the steward crew. So let's say it's actually Keon's blood brother, but not a direct line to the Empire because, you know, like you said, Keon's the one who tested and passed the test, and that's why he's emperor, but his brother won't take the throne.
And it could be some like mythical or like power type thing because we could give him some powers, you know, where he's like some unleashed, where like he's almost, I don't want to say crazy like the Avatar type, but like something where he can really unleash. And
I think it'll be like
a gladiatorial thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be like along the lines of whatever augmentations that we've given to Ronan, because again, Ronan's contract very much stipulates that he can never lose a fight. So if him and Keon fight, Ronan can't lose. Like,
well, they're not going to fight in this movie.
Yeah, but they're
on the same side in this movie.
They'll actually fight. Yeah. Maybe somebody's clone. People keep talking about clones.
Ooh, people do talk about clones.
All right. So we'll go to the hideout, the Kyronian Knights hideout, and that's where we kind of just regroup. And I think this is where we introduce the Star Wars fulcrum like insider character. Maybe we don't know Red yet is that person, but like this is where we start to get
But this is where
information
we
of
have
like
to
their
establish
plans.
why Keon has been disposed, who's currently in power, and who's like the person they got to take down,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And elsewhere inside the Empire, on the outskirts of our plot, we see preparation for a major invasion into
Mm-hmm.
Gallico.
And maybe tying it all together is that whoever we decide it is, let's say it's Keon's blood brother for now, we can change it later. His plan to take power is one, eliminating Keon, and then also conquering this next galaxy to prove that he is worthy to be emperor. So like there's like the double like the motivation to do it.
So he's not, he's like head of the military, head of the
Yeah.
fist,
Yeah.
but he's not been declared the Empire yet.
No.
So his next move is to kind of like, with this victory, declare
He can be declared emperor.
Emperor.
Kind of think like Lord of the
Okay.
Rings, you know, like the steward of Gondor. If they won like a big battle, they could become king. Like that's my line of thinking
Yeah.
of this.
Okay.
Okay, so that way we can tie in all those motivations. Why does he want to kill Keon, and also why does he want to invade Gallico Corporation Galaxy?
Are we going to see into Gallico with like Nick and their plans of sabotage of their own territories?
See,
Or
that's
is it
the
all going to be said, or are we going to see like ships planting these bombs at wormhole jump points that they've somehow
so I think
been
we
able
can
to track?
get it two ways. One, we can, like I said, we need an insider. If it's Red or not, it's got to be somebody. But we also,
it's easy to do Red because
all
it's
right.
already.
Well, you didn't agree when I said Red, so
No, I just know that when they first see him, they're gonna be like, "What the heck?" You know, you told
yeah,
me
of course.
to die, and I'm very angry about that. Red, that wasn't a cool guy move.
That wasn't chill, dude.
Yeah,
I think we could probably get Wormhole and maybe Skinny Ned or somebody figure out a way to actually do like a video call through the wormhole into the other galaxy. We talk to Icy, so Icy one knows that they got Ronan, knows that they're stranded, and then she can
I
also
like
dump
that.
the information of like, well,
Yeah,
they're
because
like
she's their connection to
planting.
the Globical.
Yeah,
And because she's the head of a planet, she has like insight into what the powers to be.
She got pulled
that
into a
head
security
corporation,
council meeting or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she knows what they're doing, maybe not like everything, but she can infer.
And then there's
things.
been talks of royalty pulling their people and personnel to inner core worlds.
Yep. But
Like,
Icy
there's
won't
been
do it. Icy won't leave her people because we got to place her in very much danger.
Yeah, like they're abandoning their people, and you know,
Yeah,
like all the rich people are just leaving.
of course. That's what rich people do. They get out of there.
I
Ted
know.
Cruz.
But because they left, that's gonna help the revolutions in
Oh yeah.
8 or
7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, because they left and abandoned, and we're gonna blow up because the word they have to then somehow get the word to the rest of the Globico citizens that they were going to blow up their own people.
Do we have to do that in this movie, or could it be something that's revealed in? Okay. I like it. I'm just saying, like that'd be hard to reveal in this movie as well.
Yeah, no, I think this movie is just about the power struggle of the Kyronian Empire and the timeline of the invasion, because you know at the end of the invasion there's going to be an explosion, and even if they stop the invasion, they still have to stop the one warhead that's already been delivered to the Kyronian Empire.
Yes. Okay.
So that'll be like the third act big thing where you think everything's good, and then you know that there's one inside on the core planet, and that's gonna blow, and then they have to stop that one, and that's where like some diehard fists are staying in because they're like, our sacrifice will lead to the destruction of Globico. But, you know, like very.
So maybe like at the same
that.
time that's happening is like when Kion is, I'm assuming, fighting his brother and winning to like take over, right? Like, is that where we're gonna have that story go? Kion re-shows.
I thought it was I thought Kion's story would be resolved, and then you have the plot of the one last bomb, and the extremists who are going to protect it with their lives,
and at this point
that it blows up.
This is what we're saying is that maybe they can't disarm it, and that's why Thaddeus basically takes it and flies away and blows up in empty space.
They somehow get a wormhole into empty space.
Yeah.
Can you justify that wormhole opening into, you know, can you get it from out of Globico territory into like just the middle of nowhere? I mean, yes, I could, but why would I want it? Blah, blah, blah. Just do it. And then
Ronan's going to do it. Ronan's going to do it, but Thaddeus decks him and takes it.
You've already given enough. And then he's like, I told you I could knock you out, as he's like flying away, you know, so it gives him like one
last jab.
Yeah. He's like, I guess you were right, man. I guess you were right.
I'll look after Joyride.
Kyronian Klash of the Kyronians.
Architects Lore original idea, Cosmic 6, Clash of the Kyronians.
Cosmic Void 6. Ronan and the crew of Big Blimpin are stranded on a planet after being blown up. But they are saved by the Kyronian Knights from Cosmic Void Kyronian Knight. It is discovered that Kion is a secret emperor, and in order to prevent them from attacking Globico, they have to take back control from Kion's brother. After doing so, they discover a group of extremists has one last Devotonium nuke and plan to set it off in the central planet of the Kyronian Empire. They now have to stop them. In order to save everybody, because the nuke can't be disarmed, Ronan decides to fly it away. That is, until Thaddeus punches him in the face, flies it into deep space by himself, says, I told you I could beat you in a fight. And then Ronan says, I'll take care of Joyride. And Thaddeus sacrifices himself, saving both galaxies.
That's the Architects Lore original idea, Cosmic 6, Clash of the Kyronians.
Well, let us know what you think about that. You can email us at architectsoflore@gmail.com. Please follow us on X at Arc of Lore, and Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Architects of Lore. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know where to go with that. Like the most. Like, subscribe. It's free. Thank you.
It's for Devin. I feel like I don't even have to ask, but just for the audience, what are we watching next week?
We are watching Fate of the Furious. That's right. The 8th film in the Fast and Furious franchise.
All right. Well, join us next week, folks, as we continue our journey of the Fast and Furious franchise and our very own original franchise idea that we're coming up week to week, Cosmic Void. And just remember, folks, if you got a story in your head, but you can't seem to get it out,
do it.
Just do it. Because if it sucks, who cares? Just have some sweet action sequences, a little bit of comedy, and a whole lot of heart, and you'll be all right. Good night.
Bye. couldn't use the ones where we're split screen because you have a tendency to look so angry when you're not talking. You're just like, I'm talking and I'm like, hey, I'm Devin. And you're like,
Well, you objectively make me angry, so that's
I know, but it's just your resting face. You're just like,
you're saying I got resting bitch face?
I don't know.
Rest of the episode, I'm gonna be like, this is for
There's a
for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah, do this one right here. You don't have the technology.
3, 2, 1. Do it! Congratulations!
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Why is it not working for me?